Walkover, Week 17, Pittsburgh Steelers, Seattle Seahawks. I got my coffee, but I'm here in Pittsburgh where it's freezing cold. Just started to snow a little bit as I hit record. For that time of the year, I hope everybody's gearing up for a happy new year, including the Pittsburgh Steelers. And as I say it's freezing cold, as I say it's snowing, my thought went, all right, well, we're home. You know, we're not in Seattle. We're not walking to a stadium right now. We're just walking back from the coffee shop. And we don't need to be outside. You could do this in a nice, warm, comfy, cozy office. And I said, no, we're not taking an L. Not today. Not in the last day of 2023. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers hopefully are feeling the same way. Whether or not that's going to happen, who knows? What we do know is that Mason Rudolph's going to play quarterback. And all week long it was, is it because of the hot hand? Is it because Kenny Pickett's not fully ready to go? We don't really know. We don't have a clear indication. Well, seems like Mike Tomlin, he gave us one. Speaking with Bob Labriola of Steelers.com, he was asked, and the question, I'll read it verbatim. The question, in making the decision to start Mason Rudolph in today's game versus the Seahawks, was there anything involved in that besides Kenny Pickett's help? Tomlin's answer, Mason played a really good game and we want to give him an opportunity to maybe build upon that and us to build upon that. That was the reason why we inserted him into the lineup. You know, we weren't going to continue to do similar things and hope for a different result. We needed to produce more points, score more touchdowns. We were able to do that. And so I'm excited about the prospects of seeing what we can do in his second outing. I don't know about you, but it sounds like the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to let my coffee sit there as we'll come back for it. Don't worry. I'm not a litter bug. It sounds like the Pittsburgh Steelers have a quarterback. It sounds like the Pittsburgh Steelers believe in this new quarterback. It sounds like maybe, just maybe, there's a little bit of controversy brewing with the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. And I've said this long ago, for weeks now, as soon as Mason Rudolph took the field and everybody's talking about, oh, well, and I said, maybe he plays well. What does that do? I don't think it changes anything for Kenny Pickett moving forward. I will stay true to that. What I do think is that Mike Tomlin maybe opened the door to Mason Rudolph returning in 2024 and possibly being the Steelers starting quarterback, depending on how these last two games go, because maybe Mason Rudolph balls out and maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers like what they see and they think he's the guy moving forward. Maybe, just maybe. I still stand by, I don't know if Mason Rudolph would take that opportunity. I think he'd rather be somewhere else. But 7 years in the league, if Mike Tomlin's going to sit you down and say, hey, look we think you could be the guy. If there is all that narrative building over the next 2 months, 3 months into the offseason, maybe Mason Rudolph hears it and says, I'm coming back and I'm going to be the starting quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that maybe starts, but I think that's where we draw the line. When it comes to Kenny Pickett, a little bit more concerning. I still think he's the guy. I still think he's the future of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't think he will be the starting quarterback again in 2023 or at the beginning of 2024. I think that is now Mason Rudolph's job to lose. And I don't know if he's going to lose it. Maybe he loses it when the Pittsburgh Steelers are eliminated from the playoffs or don't get into the playoffs or get into the playoffs and lose in the playoffs. But the Steelers are going to ride that hot hand. That hot hand is Mason Rudolph. Mike Tomlin pretty much just said, and he says it before, hey, look, I'm going to give you something. I'm always going to give a little something because I know everybody's got a job to do, blah, blah, blah. He gave everybody a little something. And that something opened the door to a lot of things and a lot of questions and a lot of speculation about the future of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And, well, it just became a lot more interesting than, well, Kenny Pickett is not healthy enough to play.